Anteaters are fascinating and highly specialized mammals that have evolved unique adaptations to thrive in their ecological niche. These remarkable creatures are primarily found in Central and South America, and are renowned for their extraordinary feeding habits and distinctive physical characteristics. As their name suggests, anteaters specialize in consuming ants and termites, using their powerful claws and incredibly long tongues to access these insects, in colonies that would be inaccessible to most other animals. This specialization has allowed them to occupy a unique ecological niche across various habitats throughout their range. The most striking feature of anteaters is their elongated snout, which can measure up to 30 centimeters in length. This elongated snout houses a small mouth with no teeth, but contains an extraordinarily long tongue that can extend up to 60 centimeters. This tongue is covered in sticky saliva, which helps trap ants and termites as the anteater feeds. Without teeth, anteaters rely on powerful stomach muscles and ingested sand and small stones to grind up their food in a process similar to that of birds. Another remarkable adaptation is their powerful claws, particularly on their front feet, which are perfectly designed for digging into hard-packed termite and ant nests. These claws are so large and curved that anteaters must walk on their knuckles to avoid damaging them. Giant anteaters also possess a distinctive bushy tail that can measure up to 90 centimeters in length and serves multiple purposes, including insulation and camouflage. There are 4 living species of anteaters, each adapted to different ecological niches. The giant anteater, Myrmecophaga tridactyla, is the largest species, weighing up to 40 kilograms, and primarily inhabiting grasslands and open woodlands. In contrast, the silky anteater, Cyclops didactylus, is the smallest species, weighing only 200 to 400 grams, and is strictly arboreal, living in the rainforest canopy where its golden fur provides excellent camouflage. Among the seed pods of Cecropia trees, the northern tamandua, Tamandua mexicana, and southern tamandua, Tamandua tetradactyla, are medium-sized species that are semi-arboreal, spending time both in trees and on the ground. They possess prehensile tails that aid in climbing and have a distinctive vest-like pattern of coloration. Each species has evolved to exploit different food sources and habitats, reducing competition between them. This specialization has allowed anteaters to successfully colonize a wide range of environments from Mexico to Argentina. Anteaters are highly specialized feeders with remarkable efficiency. A single anteater can consume between 20,000 to 30,000 ants and termites per day. Their feeding process begins with using their powerful claws to break open insect nests. Once an opening is created, they insert their long, sticky tongue deep into the tunnels. The sticky saliva coating the tongue traps the insects, and the tongue can flick in and out up to 160 times per minute. However, anteaters typically spend only a few minutes at each nest. This behavior prevents them from completely destroying any single colony, ensuring a sustainable food source and allowing the insect populations to recover. Anteaters have also developed resistance to the bites and stings of their prey. Their thick skin and dense fur provide protection, and they can close their nostrils and squint their eyes to avoid being overwhelmed by defensive insects. While giant anteaters primarily feed on ground-dwelling insects, the smaller species also exploit arboreal ant and termite colonies, expanding their feeding opportunities to include insects living in tree bark and epiphytes. This specialized diet is available year-round in tropical climates, making anteaters highly efficient at extracting maximum nutrition from their environment. They obtain most of their water from their prey, but will drink from available water sources when needed. Anteaters are generally solitary animals, coming together only during mating season. They communicate primarily through scent marking, using their excellent sense of smell to detect the presence of other anteaters. Their sense of smell is approximately 40 times more sensitive than that of humans, allowing them to locate food sources from considerable distances. Each anteater maintains a home range that can vary significantly in size, depending on food availability and habitat quality. When resting, anteaters often curl up in a distinctive position, using their bushy tail as a blanket for warmth and camouflage. They typically rest in areas with dense vegetation that provide cover from predators. When threatened, anteaters can rear up on their hind legs and use their powerful claws as weapons. They may also back against a tree or rock to protect their rear. Despite their terrestrial lifestyle, anteaters are surprisingly good swimmers, and will cross rivers and streams when necessary to access new feeding areas. Anteater reproduction is a carefully timed process that occurs once a year. Mating typically occurs during the spring and early summer months. After a gestation period of approximately 6 months, the female gives birth to a single offspring. The baby anteater, called a pup, is born with its eyes closed and is completely dependent on its mother. It weighs only about 1.3 kilograms at birth. For the first several months of life, the young anteater rides on its mother's back, clinging to her fur and camouflaged by her coloration. The mother teaches her offspring how to locate and access ant and termite colonies. The young anteater gradually develops the skills necessary for independent feeding. This learning process continues for approximately 9 to 10 months, after which the young anteater becomes independent and establishes its own territory. Anteaters reach sexual maturity at approximately 2 to 4 years of age, and can live up to 16 years in the wild, though many face various challenges that may shorten their lifespan. This relatively slow reproductive rate makes anteater populations vulnerable to environmental pressures and human interference. Anteaters play a crucial ecological role in their ecosystems, serving as important regulators of ant and termite populations. By consuming tens of thousands of insects daily, they help maintain ecological balance and prevent these insects from becoming agricultural pests. Their digging activities also contribute to soil aeration and nutrient cycling. As they break open termite mounds and dig for food, anteaters inadvertently act as seed dispersers, as seeds and plant material become caught in their fur, and are transported to new locations, promoting plant diversity and forest regeneration. As prey species, anteaters also support populations of large predators, including jaguars and pumas, contributing to the complex web of ecosystem relationships. The holes and disturbances created by anteater foraging also provide shelter opportunities for smaller mammals, reptiles, and invertebrates. Over time, the cumulative effect of anteater activity contributes significantly to the overall health and diversity of their ecosystems, making them important indicator species for environmental health and conservation planning. Unfortunately, anteater populations face numerous threats in the modern world. The primary threat is habitat loss and fragmentation due to agricultural expansion, cattle ranching, and urban development. As human populations grow and land use changes, anteaters find themselves in increasingly isolated habitat patches. Road mortality is another significant threat, as anteaters often cross roads while searching for food. Their slow movement and poor eyesight make them particularly vulnerable to vehicle strikes, especially on busy highways that bisect their territories. In some regions, anteaters are hunted for their meat, or their claws, which are sometimes used in traditional medicine or crafts. Climate change and associated increases in wildfires and droughts also pose emerging threats to anteater populations by affecting the availability of their insect prey. Contact with domestic animals can also introduce diseases, to which anteaters have little natural resistance. The combination of these factors has led to declining populations across much of their range, with the giant anteater now classified as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, highlighting the urgent need for comprehensive conservation strategies to protect these remarkable animals. Fortunately, conservation efforts for anteaters are underway across their range. Scientists are using radio telemetry and GPS tracking to better understand anteater behavior, habitat requirements, and population dynamics. Protected areas and national parks provide crucial habitat refuges, where anteater populations can thrive without human interference. Wildlife corridors are being established to connect fragmented habitats, allowing anteaters to move safely between feeding areas and find mates. Road mitigation measures, including wildlife crossings and warning systems, are being implemented to reduce vehicle mortality. Community education programs are raising awareness about the importance of anteaters and encouraging local participation in conservation efforts. Sustainable land use practices are being promoted to demonstrate that human activities and anteater conservation can coexist. Wildlife rehabilitation centers treat injured anteaters and return them to the wild when possible, contributing to population recovery. Captive breeding programs are also being developed to maintain genetic diversity and provide animals for reintroduction programs. International cooperation between range countries is essential for developing comprehensive policies and sharing conservation strategies across borders. Anteaters hold significant cultural importance for many indigenous peoples of Central and South America, appearing in traditional stories and folklore as symbols of patience, persistence, and adaptation to challenging environments. In modern times, anteaters have captured the imagination of people worldwide, serving as ambassadors for South American wildlife and the importance of biodiversity conservation. Ecotourism centered around anteater viewing provides economic incentives for local communities to protect anteater habitat. Ongoing scientific research continues to reveal new insights about anteater biology and ecology, with new technologies providing better tools for monitoring and protection. Habitat restoration projects are creating new opportunities for population recovery and giving hope for the survival of future generations. The growing global awareness of anteater conservation needs is fostering collaborative efforts between governments, scientists, and local communities. Every individual can contribute to anteater conservation through supporting conservation organizations, making sustainable choices, and spreading awareness about these remarkable animals. With continued dedication and effort, we can ensure that anteaters continue to play their vital role in South American ecosystems for generations to come, maintaining the delicate balance that has existed for millions of years.